Good morning everybody, thanks for coming in today. My name is Keith and I'm going to do a presentation on making your computer faster. Okay. So, hands up who has a computer at home. Everybody's got a computer at home. I've got one myself, and sometimes a computer at home makes me feel like this above. So I'm trying to make it go faster. So today I'm going to try and talk to you about how a computer stores information and also how to make it run faster on your hard drive. So we're going to go through computer binary notation, and we're going to talk about the hard disk, what it looks like and how it works, and how messy files slow down your computer, and how to use the disk defragmentation program. How easier than it sounds. All the information on a computer can be stored as binary code, zeros and ones. Okay? So just think of a light switch. It can be either on or off. Okay? So basically the computer is electricity running through it, and there's little switches, transistors on the circuit board and so on, and they can be knocked on and off. So binary code, you just have to remember there's just ones and zeros in binary code. And I'll give out a handout here, which has a more clear showing the binary code for each person. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So basically everything on the computer can be written in zeros and ones. So can everything be written in binary code? Yes, everything can be written in binary code. Numbers, letters, pictures, etc. So you can probably have a go at writing your initials in binary code. Okay, in your own time or in class. So how do we talk about getting the binary code onto physical objects such as a disk? Okay? So who remembers the binary code?
0,
0, 1. Easy enough, okay? So how many different digits in a binary number? Just 0 or 1. Okay, different digits. So if you think of a magnet, a magnet is two poles. Is that correct? Okay, always north and south. Okay. No matter how small you make a magnet, it will always have two poles. Even if you make a magnet nearly microscopically, it's like a grain. Okay, it will always have north and south pole. Okay? So what happens when magnets come together? They're similar. Okay, opposites attract. Okay? And if you bring one that's similar, it will repel, it will turn around. Okay? You can have a magnet, you can buy a magnet, but you can also make a magnet using electricity and let's say a piece of iron. When you switch on the electricity, the magnet will go on. You switch it off, it'll go off. Okay? So using this idea, when you bring a magnet into contact with this, it will turn. Okay? If you switch off the electricity, it will stay as it is. Okay? So that's very similar to a light switch, on or off. And we've just got the binary code there, 1 and 0. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a simple idea of what the hard disk looks like. The following pictures are of different pictures of a hard disk, different ideas, but they'll develop more to become more complex later on. Okay? So a hard disk uses rigid aluminium disks which are coated with a magnetic material, iron oxide, type of iron. The read-write head shown travels across the disk. Okay? On a cushion of air. It doesn't actually touch the disk, because if it touched the disk is moving around all the time. What do you think would happen if we touched the disk or touched the disk?
Damage it.
It would damage it, okay? It would scratch it, just like a record, okay? But it's close enough to read it magnetically. So, you won't just have one disk, you might have two, or you might even have more. So again, this here is the disk, and these are the heads above the disk. Okay? So if you can pass around this picture here. And you can have a look. The following picture is a large version of a disk with many platters. This is a hard drive you're looking at. Now it's quite small because that's a hard drive from an old laptop. mostly you'd find a hard drive with disks found in a desktop. Okay? And that disk will be spinning around, and that little read-write head will move back and forth looking for the information you want, just like a record player. Okay. So how many disks are up there in the diagram?
4.
3, 4. 4 disks. Okay? Maybe on the picture going around there's a different number of disks because it's a different hard drive. Okay? So can anyone tell me if they're made of iron and aluminium, they're going to be quite heavy? They're going to be quite heavy. Okay. So you can see this here is a read-write head and will move back and forth, controlled by the computer. So the surface of this can be magnetized or demagnetized, as I said, in specific areas. Okay? So this here is a close-up of the read-write head, which is that head you're looking at earlier on over the disk. It's a close-up of the disk surface, which is magnetic. Okay? So what do you think would happen if you brought a very powerful magnet, let's say from a car, and put it on top of your computer? Anybody know?
You go haywire.
It would go haywire, okay, probably do some damage to it, okay? Because your computer's got magnetic components in it. Okay, so you can see as the read-write head goes above this section here. If the current is passed through, the polarity of the magnet will change. The polarity of the position of it will change. Okay, and these will be microscopically on the surface of the disk. Okay, has everybody got to see the disk going around?
Yes.
Right, good. Okay, so now you can see information to be written in zeros and ones. Binary code. There's a list of binary code there that's standard. Okay? So this is a presentation of what it would look like. Just a visual idea of what binary code would look like on a disk. Okay? And in reality, this code would probably only give you a few words, maybe a paragraph or a little sentence. Okay? This is just the idea of binary code is stored magnetically on the disk. It's not written, it's used magnetically. So a hard drive or hard disk is a bit like a bookshelf. Hands up who's got a bookshelf at home. Okay. Is it well organized like this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? You're right. So storing information on a hard disk is a bit like storing books on a bookshelf. Okay? So the books are the information and the bookshelf is a hard disk. So looking above the disk, if you're to look above it, it's made up of tracks and sectors. Okay? So this here is the orange track on the outside, you have another track on the inside, and going along this. Here is a sector, like a slice of cake, a triangle. So if I say, well, where is this file I'm looking for? The file is on track 3, let's say on the inside, sector 4 in here. So I'd be able to locate quite quickly where my file is located on my disk, looking down the disk, like a song on a record player. Does everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay? The position of it, tracks and sectors. When you format a disk at the beginning, it lays out these things, lays out a little map of where things. Usually to do that in the factory now. So a large disorganized bookshelf means a lot of time looking for what you want. Okay? Just like a disorganized bookshelf, if a hard disk is disorganized, if the books have the same subject in different locations, there's a lot of toing and froing to find what you want to look for. Okay? So you have to do a lot of walking about. Let's say, for example, that people are on strike in your local library. Okay, and they've been on strike for the past year. People have been taking books, people have been putting books back, maybe in the wrong places. Same with your computer. Over time, files will be deleted and files will be created. Okay? So the greater the time and the greater amount of files you're creating and deleting, the more disorganized it can become. Okay? So this is what it looks like again, the disk, but these are the, I was talking about, what are the tracks on the outside going, the rings, what do you call them? Tracks. And what do you call these areas here?
Sectors.
Sectors, okay, so sectors and tracks. So you can see here, this is just an idea of what the files will look like. The green files are all in order, okay? One after the other, whereas the red files are here and there, okay? And when they're here and there, I'm going to have to go back, forth, okay? So this read-write will have to do a lot more movement here, okay? So again, this is a fragmented file, and this is one that's in order. That's called a contiguous file. Anything that's in order is contiguous. So how can we make an easy life for a hard disk? How can we make life easier? How can we put the files in order so less time will be spent searching? Here's an example. This is supposed to say A, file B, file C, and free space. Okay. You can see here A again, B, C, and A. Someone's added a bit more from. You're writing, let's say, your life history, doing it every week. Okay. And after a week or two, you're on holiday and you come back and you're writing a little bit more and you're saving again. That same file from your life history, you're adding it in again, but it's in a different place. So what's another way of saying in a different place, not in sequence? In sequence. Be fragmented. Okay? It's non-contiguous. Okay? These are all contiguous, these are all in sequence. So all we have is this, fragmented files, and what we want is this, to be in order. Okay? What's your story, number one? So the disk defragmenter is a program which arranges the files on the hard disk. It is a useful tool which comes as an accessory to most computers. Okay? So think of that. This defragmenter, it's a computer program. It's not just a file, it does something, it's a program. Okay? And what does it do? It arranges the files on the hard disk. It is a tool. It's a tool to be used. Okay? And it's an accessory with most computers. Most computers will have this defragmenter on it as an accessory. Okay? So this defragmenter is a program on the hard disk which can tidy the hard disk. It's a tool, something you can use, and it's an accessory with most computers. Okay? I went through that twice for a reason. When you click on the start icon on your computer, these are the 4 steps you take. You click on programs, find the accessories, and go to system tools, because it's something you use, it's a tool, and then you'll find the disk defragmenter. See here. People familiar with the desktop screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Programs, accessories, system tools, disk defragmenter. So something has the job to be done first. Let's say if you go into, you want to tidy your house. First of all, you're going to have to look at the situation and see what needs to be done. Maybe you need a bit of space in the hallway for moving objects out into the hallway temporarily. You move things around. So first the computer will need to analyse the hard disk to see what needs to be done to suss it out. And in other words, it needs to suss out how messy the place is, how fragmented it is. Okay? So when you open up your defragmenter, there's 2 buttons here. How much for time? Okay. How much of a mess is there? Click on Analyze to suss it out. Okay, this is what you'll get. Okay. These here, files are non-contiguous. Okay. They're fragmented. Here, there, and everywhere, but the red ones aren't. Okay. So what will need to be done is you need a bit of space to move your. It's like a bookshelf. If you've no space, you can't really move the books around too easily. You know, you need a little bit of space to put things in the interim before you can organise them. Like having a hallway to put your furniture in for a few minutes before you rearrange it. A good way of clearing away information on your computer quickly is to delete old pictures, as these can take up a lot of room. Okay, so a picture is worth 1,000 words. Would be a lot more than 1,000 bytes, by the way. That's an idea for quickly clearing away files. So now you can start the defragmentation by clicking defragment. Okay? And it may take a bit of time. Okay? So you have to put the kettle on. Could take a few hours. Could take a few hours if you've never done this before. So 10 cups of tea later. When the defragmentation is finished, it couldn't take many hours, so it's a good thing to maybe do in the evening. Your computer will produce a detailed report telling you what was tidied, how much was tidied, and so on. You can print it out. So files in the hard disk will now be in order. So when things are in order, it means you've to spend less time looking for them. Who's going to be looking for them? The computer. So we'll speed it up. Okay, so have a look at these exercises I'm going to hand out. I've also got notes. You can have them. Thanks for that. And I did have a look at the next page, the binary page, the one where you've got the binary note. Underneath it, you've got a sector, you've got a visual of a hard disk, and you've also got the defragmentation. So when you're just using a pen, can you highlight on the disk itself, on the piece of paper, it's a black and white disk, where the tracks are and where the sectors are with the pen yourselves. So again, a sector is a bit like a slice from a cake, and a track is one of the rings going in. So you need both to find accurately where your information is. Okay. Now can I have a look at that? I'm just going to pass this around once more again, so you can actually see maybe in your hand. Maybe pass that one around and see. And you can see on the other side of it, it's got the circuitry involved. That would flick into the motherboard of the computer. Okay? And you can see the head, read-write head, and the disk moving around. Okay? So what's the next exercise there is the fragmentation. Is there a question below that? It says...
Can you indicate where the fragmented files are?
Yeah, okay, so indicate where the fragmented files are on the paper. And then indicated where the files... What happened, yeah. This is on the last page of your exercise handout, not the notes. Okay. So, should be finished now. Okay, so now you have an idea how your computer stores information on your hard disk and how you can tidy it up to save you time. This is where I got some of the information from. How Computers Work by Ron White, good book with illustrations in it. Better illustrations than I would do. And a dictionary of computer and internet terms as well. Sources of pictures and graphics. I got my pictures and graphics from google.com. I clicked on images and I used the following search terms such as computer, switch, binary, hard disk, disk defragmentation. So thanks very much for your time, and I'm going to try it out.